What was that you were doing, like, when Jerry Clower came up, you went like,
Ha!
what the hell is that?
That's Jerry Clower. You've never heard Jerry Clower do ha?
No. But I don't really know that much. I mean, I was hoping
I need you to pull up on your phone Jerry Clower Hall.
Ha!
On your phone and play it for us.
Well, how am I going to go to college? I'll just play football. Work my way through college playing football. Now, I never saw a football till I got to college. East Fork Consolidated High School. I finished high school with 7 other folks. There's 8 of us in the senior class. You can imagine the physical facilities we would have had we played football. So I told my mama, I said, Mama, I'm going to play. I weighed 214 pounds. I was 6 feet tall. So I put on one of them tight-fitting navy T-shirts. And I sucked myself up where my physique could show. And I commenced to strutting across that campus.
This is literally the most unfunny thing I've ever heard in my
And
life.
they got to noticing me.
Yeah.
Some of the students said, oh, sir, may we help you? I said, I'm looking for the football coach. They said, come with us. I went in his office, and he jumped up and said, son, who are you? Oh, I'll give you a half scholarship just looking at you. But tell me quick, what position is it that you play? I said, I am the man. Oh, what runs with the football? That's the position I play. Well, I went out for football 16 days, and the first college football game I ever saw, I played in it.
Fantastic. Comedy gold.
You can't tell like jokes like that anymore.
No, it's
Like people are too politically correct now.
No, that's literally like the most unfunny thing I've ever heard.
It's very lame and unfunny.
And that crowd was in stitches.
Yeah.
Ha!
That's what you call a cult of personality.
So I went down to the Piggly Wiggly. Ha! I was going to get me some chicken livers. Ha! And I was going to sell them to pay my way through college. Ha!
Elijah, you seem to have an intimate knowledge of the comedic stylings of one Jerry Clower.
Well, I tell you what, I first saw Jerry Clower when I was in college. Ha! We was going to go pheasant hunting. Ha! He thought I said peasant hunting. Ha! We went with Dick Cheney. He shot somebody. Ha!
The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. The chances, the changes are all yours to make. The mold of your life is in your hands to break. The greatest adventure is there if you're bold.
Hello, folks. Thank you for listening. E Pluribus Book Club. I'm your host for this episode. My name is Ansel.
I'm Elijah.
And I'm Dylan.
So the book that we're talking about today is it's a classic. I think maybe a modern classic since it was written within the last 100 years.
It's the greatest adventure.
The greatest adventure. Of course, it's The Hobbit or There and Back Again.
You were saying you've got notes?
Yeah, I got notes. Hold on. It's loading.
All right. Let's roll those notes. But again, a discussion of The Hobbit can't take place without a discussion of The Lord of the Rings and a discussion of the Silmarillion. That ought to be taken for granted as well. That, yes, we are focusing on The Hobbit, and there's not a lot in the Silmarillion that has to do with The Hobbit. It has tons to do with The Lord of the Rings. However, the Dwarven treasure, the necklace, yeah? Is that in the book, or has the movie destroyed my headcanon?
The necklace. I don't remember a necklace in the book.
Okay.
Okay. So here's my next note. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What did you have to say about the necklace?
No, there's a treasure. There's a treasure in the movie. They called it the Arkenstone, and I think in the book it's called the Nogler or something like that. But there's a dwarven necklace that contains one of the Silmarils that's in Smaug's hoard of treasure. And there's your link to the Silmarillion in The Hobbit.
I don't think. Okay, the Arkenstone is in the book.
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah.
not the Silmaril. But there's
Right,
also a
no.
necklace. And I think maybe it gets mentioned in The Lord of the Rings that in Thorin's treasure hoard, there was the necklace that was stolen by the elves in the Silmarillion. Well, it was stolen by the dwarves, but then stolen back by the elves.
I'm going to
And then
Google
Smaug
this
had it.
and figure this
Yeah,
out.
see if I'm right. See if I'm right. See if I remember that correctly.
Ansel, go ahead while I do some research.
So while he's doing the research, my next note is just a little foreshadowing that I picked up on. Obviously, didn't see it the first time I read it.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about dragons here. Dragons steal gold and jewels, from men and elves and dwarves, wherever they can find them, and they guard their plunder as long as they live, which is practically forever unless they are killed, and never enjoy a brass ring of it. Indeed, they hardly know a good bit of work from a bad, though they usually have a good notion of the current market value, and they can't make a thing for themselves, not even mend a little loose scale of their armor. The fatal the fatal flaw, it turned out.
a little. They call that Tolkien's gun in literary circles.
Yeah.
Very nice
Tolkien's
catch.
Elvish blade. Okay, next note is a good bit of life advice. So like, I meant to like kind of follow the plot of the book. Bilbo's at his home minding his own business. The wizard comes up and says, basically, "You're coming on an adventure with us," and he's like, "Oh, no,
Adventures make one late for supper.
Like, yeah, and but Gandalf doesn't take no for an answer, and he brings the company of dwarves in. They set out. They go into a mountain filled with goblins, and Bilbo gets separated from the rest of the company, and he riddles with Gollum, which is okay. He gets separated. He finds this creature Gollum in the middle of the mountain, and he's completely lost. He doesn't know the tunnel to get out of the mountain. Gollum. Eventually, they find out that they both like riddles. And so they have a riddle game, and then Bilbo totally cheats. By the way, like,
Oh, yeah.
he runs out of riddles, and he says to himself, "What have I got in my pocket?" And then Gollum like gets mad. He's like, "That's not a riddle," and he says, "Well, you said ask me a question. That's a question, bro." And he gets 3 guesses, and he gets all 3 guesses wrong. The thing he has in his pocket is the one ring from the Lord of the Rings, the titular ring from the Lord of the Rings.
Before we get any further, you have anything else on that?
Well, I mean, the main thing is that's like the most iconic scene from this book, and it's like the one of the most iconic scenes from any piece of literature, I think. And there's this good life advice that I highlighted when he's trying to find his way after he was separated. He says, "Go back," he thought, "no good at all. Go sideways, impossible. Go forward, only thing to do. On we go." And like, hell yeah, that's poster worthy right there.
Nice. Nice.
All right, so I've got some info on the final resting place of the Silmarils, the 3 jewels crafted by Feanor in the Silmarillion.
So one lies buried with Baron and Luthien?
They that one was
Or one becomes the moon. One sails with Varanwe in the east over the sky.
okay. Well, I think you're conflating 2 there. The one that belonged to Beren and Luthien, the Valar set this Silmaril as a star in the sky.
Okay.
The other 2 gems remained in Morgoth's hands and were taken from him by a servant of Manwë at the end of the War of Wrath. Soon afterwards, they were stolen by Feanor's 2 remaining sons, but they burned their hands. Apparently, they didn't have the right to possess them. One of the sons, in agony, threw himself and his Silmaril into a fiery pit, and Maglor threw his Silmaril into the sea. Thus the Silmarils remain in the ocean, the earth, and the sky. Their light present, but inaccessible to those in Middle-earth.
Very
So,
nice.
apparently, according to Tolkien lore, there is no Silmaril.
There is no
or
dwarven
Smaug
necklace with a
sword.
Silmaril. Okay. Wrong.
But also,
I was wrong.
Since Ansel was talking about the riddles in the dark, I was thinking maybe we could try our hands at a few riddles, real quick.
Okay.
Just to see if we're as good as old Bilbo and.
Oh,
Gallagher.
no. I am no
Okay,
good at
let's hear
riddles.
All right, so here's one. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
The more you take.
The answer is time. Time.
No, I don't think it's time.
No,
It's
that is
time.
incorrect. Ansel, do you have
Aw.
a guess?
You get to eat
The more
me.
you take. Advice.
Footsteps.
Ah.
Eggs it is.
All right. More. More precious.
It must ask us another riddle.
What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? My guess is a married man.
Ha!
Again, what comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? Oh, that's clever. I looked at the answer.
Are we going to get it?
I mean,
Once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years. The letter M. The letter M.
that is correct. It is the letter M. Very good, Elijah.
Now you must show me the way out.
Out of this riddle segment.
Out of this podcast.
What has many keys but can't even open a single door?
A piano.
Let's see. That is correct. All right, last one. What belongs to you but other people use it more than you?
My time. The answer is time.
That kind of makes sense, but you can't. That's not.
This is
that's
a
not what's
capitalist
listed here.
society. This is a capitalist society. The answer is time. That joke was written in a communist society. It doesn't work. What belongs to you?
But other people use it more than you.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with
Patience,
time.
patience or nerves or something like that.
No, it's your name.
Uh,
And I said that was the last one, but I'm going to do one more just because it kind of fits the theme of the riddles in the book. It's like a little rhyming thing. Tall I am young, short I am old. While with life I glow, wind is my foe. What am I? Tall I am young, short
young.
I am old. While with life I glow, wind is my foe. What am I?
what would it be? Fire or would it?
Fire.
Candle. Fire. Candle.
Candle.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Got it.
So yeah, y'all may or may not have been eaten in the dark.
I got the first one wrong. So
Yeah, you would have been eaten right off the bat.
All right, I got one. For
I'm
you,
missing.
Dylan.
I'm
Okay.
at least missing a leg and locked in the basement.
What have I got in my underwear?
Not fair to ask us what it's got in its nasty little underwear pockets.
The answer might surprise you. It is D's nuts.
You didn't give us enough time.
No. Not fair.
All right, with the riddle thing, one of the things I wanted to bring up, and this is just cool. This is something that's real cool, I think. And you both of you like cool things, I think.
I dig
I've never
coolness
known you
every
to-
now and then.
I've never known you to not like things that are cool.
I like cool stuff and neat stuff and raw stuff.
As
Sometimes
as do
even
we all.
slick stuff. Yeah.
But this is the edition of The Hobbit I got. I bought it on the on a major corporation's ebook store, and it has audio clips in it of Tolkien reading and singing the songs. And I thought I'd share a couple of
neat.
those.
Oh,
here we go.
that's badass.
Okay. So here you go. Listen to this. I'm actually going to go switch some laundry over. I've listened to this already. So you guys, here we go. This is Tolkien reads from Riddles in the Dark.
Deep down here by the dark water lived old Gollum. I don't know where he came from, nor who or what he was. He was Gollum, as dark as darkness, except for two big, round, pale eyes. He had a boat, and he rowed about quite quietly on the lake, for lake it was, wide and deep and deadly cold. He paddled it with large feet dangling over
Okay,
the
this
side,
is-
but never rippled
I would have wished that he had played like a song or something for us.
But
But now that he's like gone, you want to talk about the movie?
Yeah, man. Let's do that while he's changing the man. Oh,
He liked meat too.
I don't feel right talking over
Good.
Sir Tolkien though.
But he took care
Can
they
you
never
pause
found him
it?
out. He just
Can you-
throttled
can you
them
pause
from
it?
behind if ever they came down alone.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah.
There we go.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Sir Tolkien, but man, I've got something to read later when he gets back that has nothing to do with The Hobbit, but it has everything to do with turning books into movies. Have you seen that meme where it's the female elf yelling at Legolas? I think it's on Lord of the Ring memes on Reddit where she's saying, "What do you mean? What do you mean this isn't our fight? Don't you belong to this world?" And he says, "No, we're not even in the book."
No, I didn't see that.
You haven't seen that? I mean, because
No.
that's a line that she delivers in the film, and that should have been the line that Legolas delivers in the film. That no, we
Actually-
should not even be here.
I actually like. I don't mind Legolas being in it so much because I mean that was his people that they were dealing with, the Wood Elves of Mirkwood. Like, I mean, it's obviously just trying to get Orlando Bloom in a movie so that people will
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
tie it into the very popular.
Still,
other
That
that was a good
you don't
recording
need
that
that
we
to tie it
listened
into. Yeah.
That
No.
was, no, we didn't stop anything.
Um.
But yeah, we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah. I really like the sound of Tolkien's voice more than anything. He's so stately and calm in his readings of his own work that's definitely. Have you got him doing one of the songs? The
Yeah.
15 birds and 5 fir trees.
I'll let
Is
you
that one
pick
in there?
Yeah, well, I don't think that one's in there, but let me tell you what I
Oh.
got.
Okay.
Yeah, see, by the way, sorry for the delay. I had to take the kids back as soon as this is over, and they have some clothes that aren't dry yet, so I had to make sure to get those switched over so they'd be dry. Okay. Damn
That's all right. I was just kissing my wife goodnight, so sorry for that delay on my end.
Oh,
What funny little birds!
I'm going to
have
tell you
no
something right
wings.
now before she goes to bed. The next Tolkien book I'm going to read is called Beren and Luthien, The Tale of Beren and Luthien, and it actually comes from the Silmarillion. He modeled those characters after himself and his wife. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
And if you want to read one of the greatest love stories of all time, it's J.R.R. Tolkien's The Tale of Beren and Luthien, which you can find in the Silmarillion, and it is now available as its own story, which I think has been polished up with some old notes by his son, Christopher Tolkien, who also passed. I don't believe he's still alive, but it's been posthumously published. One of the greatest love stories of all time.
Yeah, like I said, I have read the Silmarillion. I have no memory of that story.
Beren and Luthien. Beren is the human that sees Luthien, the elf maiden, dancing in the forest and immediately falls in love with her. And in order to claim her hand in marriage, the king of the elves demands that he sneaks into Melkor's palace. And Melkor is basically the evil god. He's like Sauron's master. And he has to steal...
I thought Melkor was Sauron.
No.
Morgoth was his master.
Morgoth and Melkor are the same person. It's two different
Okay.
names for the same person. For the god, he's actually one of the Ainur, one of the lesser gods. And he has to steal a Silmaril from the crown of Morgoth while he sleeps, and bring it back to the Elven King in order to marry Luthien. And he ends up losing his hand, but somehow he gets his hand. Spoiler alert: he gets to marry her. Yeah.
Cool.
So he lost his hand, but he got her hand in marriage. So
Yeah.
he came out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the only song I have is him singing "Chip the Dishes, Crack the Plates," and I'll play that now. Here we go.
All right. Cool.
Wanna hear-
This
wanna hear it?
will be cool. This will be cool stuff.
Chip the glasses and crack the plates, blunt the knives and bend the forks. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. Smash the bottles and burn the corks. Cut the cloth and tread on the fat. Pour the milk on the pantry floor. Leave the bones on the bedroom mat. Splash the wine on every door. Dump the crocks in a boiling bowl. Pound them up with a thumping pole. And when you've finished, if any are whole, send them down the hall to roll. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates, so carefully, carefully with the plates. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates, so carefully, carefully with the plates.
Are you crying? Elijah?
Wow. I am a little bit. I am misty-eyed.
It's beautiful.
Would you like me to hear? Would you like to hear me sing one from the Rankin Bass Productions?
Yeah. Yes, please do.
Yeah.
15 birds.
15 birds in 5 fir trees. Their feathers were fanned in a fiery breeze. What funny little birds. They had no wings. Oh, what shall we do with the funny little things? Oh, what shall we do with the funny little things?
Roast them alive or stew them in a pot. Fry them, boil them, eat them hot. Bake and toast them, fry and roast them till beards blaze and eyes glaze, till hair swells and skins crack. Fat melts and bones black in cinders lie beneath the sky. So the dwarf shall die. 15 birds in 5 fir trees. Their feathers were fanned in a fiery breeze. But funny little birds, they had no wings. Oh, what shall we do with the funny little things? Oh, what shall we do with the funny little things?
Very, very nice.
Do the one with ho
Down.
ho my lad, ho ho my lad. The goblins sing the best songs.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom. Down, down the goblin town, down, down,
Down
the
the
goblin
goblin town.
town,
That's
down,
the
down,
lyric
the
I love.
goblin town. You go, my lad, ho, ho, my lad.
Goblins squawk and goblins beat, goblins laugh and goblins bleat. Banner, hammer, whip and hammer, ho! You go, my lad, ho, ho, my lad. Below, my lad, ho, ho, my lad.
It was actually in the Return of the King cartoon, but where there's a whip, there's a way.
Oh yeah.
Where there's a whip,
Also a
there's
goblin
a
song
way.
or an orc song.
That's
telling
on
you.
Where
whips.
there's a whip.
In the
There's
Battle of the
a
Five
way.
Armies, I'm fighting with the goblins. On
Yeah.
account they
We
have the
don't
best
want to
jams.
go to war today, but the Lord of the Lash says nay, nay, nay.
We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way.
Okay. That's all great. Here's the deal. I'm going to speed through the rest of the book. They get out. Bilbo wins the riddle. He gets out, as do the dwarves and Gandalf. So they go on to the Dragon's Mountain. But the goblins are in hot pursuit because they just ravaged Goblin Town, and they put a knife right through the Goblin King. So they
chopped his head off, I believe. Gandalf did.
With Glamdring, the faux hammer.
Okay, either way, Goblin King is dead. They are pissed. They are going after the Hobbit and
also
dwarves.
There's like some history between one of the goblins and Thorin there.
Right, and they recognize the swords that they had as like being, evildoer, the swords of evildoers.
They served in the Goblin Wars of old.
Yes. So they're off to the mountain, followed by like what becomes a goblin army. They wake Smaug up, and he to retaliate for being woken, ravages the town of humans. And while doing that, an archer is able to shoot an arrow right in the bare spot in the dragon's scales, kills the dragon, and then there's a huge fight between all these armies who are all claiming a portion of the treasure in the mountain. And then the goblins get there, and they have to join forces. Bloody war. It's very ugly. Nobody likes to see that. But Bilbo returns home safely with a good chunk of the gold and some memories. That's the book. It was wonderful.
Let's sign off.
All right. Until next time, thank you. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.
But we must be on.
Pity. Elvish singing is not a thing to miss in June under the stars. But tra-la-la.